बोलते हैं कम है, नजर नहीं आते। तो चक्रा को कोई नहीं समझाता, ध्यान का वर्ड कोई नहीं समझाता, तो मैंने इसलिए ध्यान का वर्ड समझाना शुरू कर दिया। ध्यान मेडिटेशन को कहते हैं भाई, ध्यान दो ध्यान दो ध्यान दो, पूरा मुल्क जानता है, लेकिन उनको पट्टे किसी एक को नहीं मालूम कि ध्यान कैसे होता है। There is no video, even today there is no video which says ध्यान कैसे।
But it's not about learning it, but you cannot learn
practice.
So you have to try them.
But just like it's like you want to learn leadership. No, it's not working. It's, the voice is coming from maybe another. It should be loud enough. Play it, and I want to know. See, why are you doing live? Hello. Good enough. So today we are trying to learn how to, without be trying to sound narcissist, we're trying to learn how to make a copy of a person which we like. And somebody messaged us yesterday that I want to make 100 copies of Rehan. And on top of that, Danish said yesterday that he thinks that in our office we should at least have 20 Rehans. He thought that we have 20 Rehans in our office, but to his surprise, I said nobody, including my children, are not Rehan. So let's define what is Rehan to you, and then let's what does it mean to be Rehan, right? So I wrote some things, she wrote something, and you wrote something, and let's compile it into something which is copyable, teachable, and duplicatable. So why don't you both talk and explain this one? There is single mic or double mic? Where is the other mic? So that goes to Aliki?
No, let him explain first.
Okay. So
well, I have been connected to Rehan like in this office run by like for around 10 days. Other than this,
watching for 3 months.
For a year around, yeah.
And you noticed something.
Yeah.
Which got you into this room.
Yeah.
She met me in January.
All right.
For 5 minutes.
Okay.
Still I landed up in this room. She
All
didn't
right.
learn anything about me.
Okay.
And the country, nothing. She just said, okay.
Okay.
But she did not know that we will end up here like a month. She was here for 3 days, and she agreed for that, and now she's here. But because she got stuck, we got to talk, and I helped her doing certain things. Because of that, she understands me a little bit, and she is intuitive, and she thinks she's very intuitive, and she thinks that she can connect. We were very connected, so she can, just like I feel you are very connected.
All right.
So she wrote based on that also, not by experiences. Some experiences and some intuition. That's my understanding. So if I'm saying something and you're honest, so what I like about her is she's honest. If I say something wrong, she will be like, no, it's not. You're full of yourself. It's not true. I don't think you do that enough. You kind of try to do it, but you still respect enough not to do that.
I keep the balance.
You try to keep
it's a good thing.
Yes.
So you are 80% honest, she's 95% honest, 90%
Right.
honest.
Well,
and based on that honesty, we have some answers. Iqbal is 60% honest.
Okay.
Iqbal lies 80% of the time. And based on the
Right.
4 people here, we will try to craft what is there. Is that worth doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
First you wrote daring. What does daring mean?
The same thing that you just said, that you love people. You love people who actually come up with something that you may not like, but you want people to be daring and brave enough to tell you with respect. This is something very important to you, because I feel like that 95% of the people who you meet, they don't tell you anything because out of the fear, or maybe not to lose your influence or correct thing. So for you, yeah, whether it be a colleague or whether it be in relation,
So I think what you've written is what I like, not what I am.
what
So, so you can right. So this is you will not what I like. So if you want to hack me, so if you go for daring, so or maybe you can write on top, what I like, and what then we can have a section what I am.
this is what I am and this is what I like, and we are talking about what you are actually. So these
Right.
attributes are not correct, not most of them. So let me.
Right, it's okay. You can say what Rehan likes. You can make a section of what Rehan likes.
But there are a couple of things that I believe that you are, you have, and you are very creative. This is something you have built in. Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
We're fine.
so this is something that you have very built in. You are very creative, and you come up with the factory of ideas that normally a normal person cannot come up with.
Can I ask questions in the middle?
Yes, yes, please.
Do you feel that also he
Can I request you to switch mics because you can.
yeah, put it around. Mm.
Please.
So do you also feel that maybe he's creating this quality come out from you? So do you feel that you become more daring when you're around him? Do you feel that you
Well,
become-
this is what he wants the people around him to be like. Yes, so he would appreciate. He would like that if someone is daring and if someone is brave, then he would actually like their presence because he would know that if he's doing something wrong, they are going to tell him. And so the topmost quality that I feel like he has is he's very, very creative. Like he said earlier that he's actually there's.
Can just clip it.
Thank you. Okay, so he has a factory of ideas. This is something very above normal that I don't find with everyone. So as he said earlier himself that he's an artist and he create ideas. So this is one of the things that I would like to emphasize, that he's very creative. If you
That is a feature or that is something I like.
that is your feature. You are very
Also
creative.
like it. So put it in both boxes.
Okay. So
Somebody is very creative, I would of course like them.
right. So
You can put them in both lists probably.
so this is like list. Actually it got mixed up.
Why don't you clean it up?
Okay.
You can make a like. This is a
Yeah.
like list and this is the feature.
Okay. Submit on.
Just remove. There is
Acha.
just remove the part.
Like
so
I
actually
will
you
remove
don't
creative.
need-
Yes.
You don't have to remove it.
I'll put it here because this
Because
is
it's I like both. I think
Okay.
I like people who are creative also,
okay.
and I like if you think I'm creative.
So it's going to be here as well. Okay. This is one of your attributes, and you are a self-starter. No one has to push you to start anything, and this is what you like in other people as well. So this is something you have, and this is something that you like in people as well.
Explain the self-starter.
A self-starter is some
What is the self-starter to you?
One who takes initiative. Yeah.
who can take initiatives. Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to necessarily push them to take initiatives.
Self-driven, right?
Self-driven,
Kind of,
yeah.
I'm not self-driven. You're wrong. So number two
Okay.
is what basically you're saying. I start projects without the fear of failure. That's what basically a self-starter. Everybody wants to start things,
Right.
but not everybody does start things. Why? Because they're scared. They have a fear that if they start and they fail, they will be embarrassed.
Right.
That embarrassment stops them from starting. What I have done is I'm not scared of starting, of the embarrassment. Most people don't start things. Everybody is creative. Everybody is curious. Not everybody. Everybody is creative. I guarantee you. You are more creative than I am.
All right.
But you will be scared to say it, bring it from here and here to here because of what others might, of judgment, of fear, of judgment. So
Okay.
the thing which you want to harness and take out is make them fearless. The moment you make them fearless, it starts becoming, you become more creative, you become more dedicated, you become more curious, you become self-aware. All those features start coming in the moment you let go of your fear. Everything is related, in my opinion, experiences to related to fear. And you have to practice to become fearless. It's not impossible. You're not totally out of fear. It's fear, less fear, and less fear, and less fear, and less fear. How does that happen? It happens because then you trust the person. You
It also helps to become fearless because you use space-time. So it's the correct moment and the correct person.
okay. So you believe
This
in
is
the
also
person.
helping to become fearless because you feel you have the support.
That's a process, right? So if you understand this board, you will understand everything I do. My interest is to help you understand who I am and why I do what I do, so you can trust it more and do more of it. The reason anybody doesn't follow my process is why. Is only they don't trust me. The reason not everybody goes out and make 500 million friends is they don't trust me. Everybody goes out there and get a metric certificate. But everybody doesn't want to go out and make 500 million friends because they don't trust me. The moment they will trust me, they will do it.
Right.
She doesn't understand it, therefore she doesn't trust the process, therefore she doesn't want to do it.
Okay.
You didn't do that, you skipped that, but you said, I really want to, you didn't end up into the house. You wanted to end up into the house, so I gave you a path. One of the pathways, make 500 mutual friends, we will talk.
Right.
She already was here, so now I can't force her. She said, okay, I won't do it, no problem. Lots of people don't do it. My wife doesn't have 500 mutual friends. So it's a trust and understanding. Trust comes with understanding.
Right.
So next one.
Do you want that for now?
So there's one question, Amit. Since the past 10 days that I've been coming here regularly, I feel like persistence is not something that I'm going to add to your profile. Am I correct, or is Aliki correct?
I don't understand.
So persistence is what we were saying, that you will keep saying the same thing if you believe it, like for 5 years until somebody listens. That's where I put
Yeah,
it.
but I'm not persistent on everything.
Right.
I'm going to be persistent out of 20 items. I'm going to be persistent on like maybe 2.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm going to keep on trying to solve the poverty issue till I die because I don't have a bigger goal right now.
Right.
The moment I have a bigger dream, I will drop it and I will go for that. So I'm looking for a better opportunity, just like everybody else. So just like I said, if you get a better opportunity and it's big enough, then you will drop this job and go and work somewhere else.
Right.
She gets a better opportunity tomorrow, she will drop all this
Yeah,
and leave. Very simple. Everybody will.
Right.
So the commitment is not necessarily, it's just the price. How big of the goal, how big is the reward from the other side, right? So if somebody else hops in, offers a bigger reward, everybody in this room will drop it and leave.
But I think persistence for me is more about the values. For example, you believe in technology. You have never stopped believing in technology. You just change the way that you use technology. But these are projects.
I don't believe in technology, I believe in tools.
Okay.
So right now technology is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
So another tool is meditation, another tool is
whatever.
Connecting to whatever. So these are tools. I don't believe in technology yes per se. I believe in tools of the technology. So faster way of doing things. Facebook to me has no personal interest. I'm not a shareholder. But the reason I bring everybody on Facebook is it's a fantastic tool to empower people in ways which it's impossible that I know of in other ways.
Right.
So persistent, I'm not very persistent. If we don't, as I told you before, if we don't do 1 hour a day work, $100 intern, and I don't see results, I'll drop it. I don't want to drop it because it's very powerful project. And that's why I hire more people, so that they are persistent in their job. They need to get salary, and I put them there so they push me, and I stay persistent. If I have 3 people hired on $100 project, it's hard. It's difficult to fire. It's easy to hire. It's very difficult to fire.
Mm-hmm.
So you hire 3 people who are constantly messaging you now every day. This is not working. This is not working. It keeps me running. Right. So the moment I come to this room, I try not to come to this room. My primary goal is not to come to this room. If I come to this room, I'm stuck for 8 hours. And the reason I let you go at 9:30 is because you have a problem. Otherwise, I wouldn't let you go because I enjoy this. Now, I don't really enjoy it, but I do it because it's better than not watching TV or something else.
Even I have started enjoying it.
Okay, cool. Well, for now.
We'll see. All right.
That's the influence, That's the phenomenon number 4.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't see you for a month and then you will see if you like it or not.
You guys will keep on enjoying till you are learning. You're both curious people, so you're enjoying the learning process.
Yes.
Not me. It's nothing to do with me. It's the learning process. So as long as I keep giving
Absolutely
the learning process and I keep it exciting and you will keep on enjoying it, you will enjoy it. The moment it's dull and repetition comes in, boring, let's move on.
Yeah, very true.
So what else?
Process, what does it
He
mean?
likes processes. He likes to refine the processes that he's using.
Okay.
So he will try something, he will review, he will try it again a little bit different, he will review, he will try it again a little bit different, he will review. Then he just gets his processes better and better and better.
Okay.
The interesting thing is what he does is that he only gives you the last summary of all the process. So it seems very easy and very understandable, but he has passed many repetitions before he gives you the summary.
And he has improved over the time with that process.
Mm.
Okay, great. Intuition, we were talking about intuition. What does intuition means to you?
So intuition is practically listening and your inner voice, right? So that doesn't come from society.
Mm-hmm.
It comes that you need to do something because your inner voice is telling you that you need to do it.
All
and
right.
just trust and go for it without judging it. And he has that a lot, and he has that this in relation to space-time. These two together are very interesting because intuition is always going to tell you to do something in this specific moment with this specific setting, with these people or anything. If you miss this moment, you have missed the momentum. So if you don't trust it with the right space-time, it doesn't really work.
All right. So your intuition changes with the space and the time and the people around you. This is what you mean to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why do I like processes?
I don't know why you like processes. I just know that you like processes.
I don't know what I like processes. Why do I like processes?
Because you like to keep improving.
Efficiency. No, I don't really know why.
He personally does not like to follow processes, but he loves people to follow processes.
He loves to create processes.
Why do you think so?
To outsource.
Processes are something which can be copied.
Yeah, to outsource.
Okay.
And that is why I like processes, because you can copy a process, you can't copy a person, you can copy a process.
The process, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Process can also be scaled. You can help a billion people through a process. You cannot help just by saying, okay, become Imran Khan, become Elon Musk. What's the process of becoming Elon Musk?
Right.
Or is there a book I can read to become Elon Musk? No. That's what we're trying to make here. We're trying to make, okay, you like Rehan? Okay, let's help you become Rehan. We are explaining everything. You follow everything. It's a process. Here is how you grow intuition. Here is how you grow drive. Here is how you grow persistence. Here is how you grow influence. Here is how, what is, so the book will contain, intuition, drive, persistence. But you have to explain, just like you're explaining what is intuition. You have to explain it in the book. You have to explain it in the video. You have to explain, huh? Right. First is what is it? Then why is it? And then how is it? Without educating the person, I think we live in the age of why. You know, there is a book very famous right now. Everything starts with the why. We're no longer living in the what or how. We're living now in the why. Everybody is going towards the why. Why are you doing this? Just like we asked her, why are you doing this? Once you know the why, you get the right answer and you go to the right direction. With people, for example, somebody yesterday, I was watching a video where he was saying, you know, you have to define your dream. And that dream comes, you ask, why do you have this dream? Why do you want to get there? Then you come out with the right answer. Okay. And then there's a vehicle, there's a way, how you get there. So first of all, what is your dream? Your dream is to empower XYZ people. Then you found me as a vehicle to get from A to, instead of you want to go to Z, I can help you go from B to C. She can help you go from C to D. He can help you go from D to F. There are different teachers which will come in our lives, which will give us different tools to reach to our goal. And the Z is the goal, always, the dream. Sometimes we cannot ever reach the Z because it's too big of a dream. So most people don't make big dreams, which is wrong. We'll not go there, but coming back to this.
Let me connect what you're saying with the whole system, because it goes beyond. So
leave in 10 minutes.
Okay, it's gonna be
Is
2
it
minutes.
9:30 already?
It's 9:20.
Okay.
Yeah, 9:13.
Okay.
So as you were saying, we're in the era of why. Why it's like its purpose. So it's heart chakra. We have been starting from the first chakra, which is roots, food, so like how do we survive. Second chakra is more like sexual energy and creativity. Third chakra is drive and influence. So that was what we were before. So that's why so much fame, cars, luxury, because it's the show off also.
Okay.
The misinterpretation is the show off. Now we're moving in the area of the heart chakra. That's why many whys. And then we have in them, so throat chakra. So that's the vehicle. So we're in the transition of these two phases right now as humanity, right?
Okay.
You can go on.
All right. So
everything I explain and she explains, forget about it. It's just, let's go through this.
Okay, drive.
Yeah, well, let's do your
Mine one. All right. Go fearless. So this is almost the same thing. So we'll skip this one. Self-aware, knowing your potentials and understanding what you can do, even though
What
there's
percentage of self-awareness do you think I have? Put a number.
self-aware. I mean,
Really?
you know yourself. You know yourself.
Yeah.
Then you're good.
That's a better number.
All right.
He's more intuitive than self-aware. That's the interesting part about him. He doesn't really know what he's doing when he starts something, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't search to know 100% what he's doing.
Okay. Now this is a surprise for me because
You get everyone gets surprised.
right. So why is he 10% self-aware, not 100%?
Forget about why. Ready to learn.
All right. Okay. Ready to learn and unlearn. So this is one of his attributes. He loves to learn the new things.
I don't like to learn.
You don't like to learn?
You like to teach.
All right. So
I don't like to teach also. I just don't like to learn. I don't like to learn, and nobody likes to learn. When people say they like to learn, it's not true. People like to stay comfortable. So
No, that's not true.
this, I don't agree with it, sir.
So I believe that humans do everything for two reasons only. One is to avoid pain. Second is to get pleasure. There is no third option. So if by learning something, what you desire comes closer to you, you will want to learn. Or if you are learning to avoid pain. So for example, if people right now, because of Corona, are out of job, they are being forced to learn something new,
Right.
which they don't want. They want to avoid the pain of hunger, pain of joblessness, pain of embarrassment. So they're learning something new. They're not doing it because they want to do it. If they wanted to do it, they would have done it 6 years ago. They're doing it because they're forced to do. They want to avoid pain and get pleasure. If a person has too much money and he's still learning, he still is scared of losing that money. That's why it's an insurance policy for him to learn something new so that he can protect what he has, and it's to avoid pain and to get more pleasure. So
this is changing, by the way.
okay, well,
It was like that.
that's how I think things are. And people don't like to learn. People are curious, and because curiosity gives them pleasure, they like to learn things. You are curious. You have a desire, and you're curious. How did this happen? How did this person become like this? I want to learn that.
Right.
Why? Because you desire something. You get pleasure of thinking that, oh, I can be like this. And that pleasure is what you seek, not necessarily the learning part. So learning, nobody totally enjoys. That's what I think. If you're enjoying, you're not. I don't think you're enjoying the learning process. You enjoying the result. So,
Can I add something?
Sure.
It has always been like this with me, Rehan bhai, that if there's a day past when I haven't learned something,
because you want to be a better version of yourself,
yeah,
not because you want to enjoy learning. You
Okay.
think the terminology, the word, it's only a word play.
all right.
You enjoy you're a self-critical human being who wants to be a better version of himself.
You can put
What's the word for that? There's a word for being this kind of person.
Grow.
No, it's another word. There is a very Urdu mein bhi hai ek lafz uska, or English mein bhi hai. There is a word for it, that to be that kind of person. So you are that kind of person who wants to improve
Okay.
that thing of yours.
Okay.
I would encourage you to study Marcus Aurelius. What's Stoicism? So if you are a Stoic person, you're constantly improving yourself. So Stoicism is a philosophy of self-improvement.
Stoicism spelling?
Stoaic. Well, ask Google.
Without a.
Stoicism.
Yeah.
Right, and one of the best books is called Meditation, and it's by Marcus Aurelius.
Okay.
He was a Roman king.
Okay.
So if you study this, you will become more and more self-critique, self-analysis. You don't care about other people. You do what you can. So that is what Stoicism is.
Okay.
And Stoicism, if you do all what I'm doing, is also about Stoicism. Basically,
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
Stoic philosophy, which we're applying right now. So that is why I'm ready to learn. Not necessarily, I have absolutely no interest, like every human being, to be a learner. You just say that, but it's not true.
Okay. Agree to that.
What's the next one?
Fast-paced runner.
What does that even mean?
That means that you don't want to go slow in anything. You want to go fast, no matter what you do. Any projects you pick up, you want to have a high pace. You don't want to go on a slow speed. And you
Do
like
you
you.
agree?
She's
I
not.
think that you're doing it for a different reason. I kind of agree, but I think you're doing it for a different
I don't
reason.
agree. I don't agree.
You're-
Iqbal, do you agree or do you understand? Iqbal, बताओ fast pace runner का क्या मतलब है?
मेरा ख्याल से कि जो आइडिया आता है उसमें इतनी रेहान भाई कहते इतनी ध्यान देती है, बहुत जल्दी मूवमेंट को आइडिया है कि भाई अगर कोई आइडिया है तो वो बहुत जल्दी फॉरवर्ड हो जाते हैं, उससे आगे निकल जाते हैं. मसलन अब 100 आजकल जो बहुत फास्ट चल रहा है, $100 चल रहा है, भाई इसको जो ख्याल आता है ना, तो उसको बहुत जल्दी उसमें अपने पूरा होते हुए कौन फयकून की तरह चाहते हैं कि वो हो जाए.
Can I ask something about
और
that? Is it because of
उस
is it because of the initial excitement?
Take this mic, please.
Not true.
Ah.
मैं देता हूँ, आप रखिए.
So is it the? I feel that it has to do with the first excitement of the project. No, it's not about the curve of engagement.
It's not true. I'm not a fast pace runner. If you think, what I do is I understand the power of the network. Okay, what most people don't understand is the power of the network, the power of pressure, the power of connections. Most people don't understand this. Most people don't use the internet the way I do. Most people don't. So what they do is they try to do everything themselves. They start to think, they start to try to do everything I will do myself. Oh, I have to, because this is how we were taught. You have to take charge, you have to do everything. And I totally don't do that. I don't do anything. If you notice, I absolutely don't do anything. What I do is I do what I'm good at, which is take initiative, throw it out there. No, don't think about it. It's nothing to do with me. People come up with things and tell me, why don't you do this?
Yeah.
And then say, okay, sure, let me try to do this. They will never do it themselves. They're not to believe in themselves. They are scared. They are fearful. So what I'll do is I'll just go out, and now I found WhatsApp. It's even faster. So my only fear for WhatsApp was that I was, destroying my mobile number. Everybody starts calling you. So now I got a second mobile number, which was my original mobile number, and now it's public, and now it's like totally screwed. I can't ever use it for telecommunication anymore. It's impossible to open that WhatsApp because it has 500 messages there all the time, which I can never reply. It's impossible. So now I discovered WhatsApp. All I have to do is announce a project, put it on Facebook, and see what happens. Most people don't do that. There is only one or two people I know in the world who would do that. One of them is Ahmed Masroor, who was talking to me, and I explained it to him for 15 minutes yesterday. My son is also similar. He does things, Saad, and he just leaves it in between. What he also doesn't do is he doesn't find the follow-up people. So the way to do this is, one, if you have money, you can hire somebody and put it on there. But if you don't have money, you can find someone and make a moderator of a group and then let people drive it itself. So for example, yesterday I was talking to my khala, and she said, somehow Iqbal came into the picture. Iqbal trainer, Iqbal, Lama Iqbal. So I said, well, why don't you? But my interest is because I want to bring her on Facebook Live as much as possible. Because I think she's a very smart woman. My mother also. Everybody's smart. Everybody has ideas. But I know my mother more than you know my mother, right? So I think if she comes out and start doing interviews like Carla does, or talk to people just like other people do, everybody can add value. Anybody. You pick up the worst person, the panwala, a nobody, put it in front of a camera, have a discussion publicly, everything will change in their life and the other person's life. You always need a listener. As she said, the energy changes when a person is in the room, right? So you start doing things differently. So what I do is I come up with a Facebook group, a Facebook page, a website, put it out there, and if it gets traction, I pursue it even more. I know people, so I will bring him in the picture, you in the picture, she in the picture. Here you go. Like for example, this woman who called, I will not do anything. I will make her so busy that she doesn't need me anymore. She will achieve her goal by making herself busy and doing everything herself, but I will create a system around her which will not allow her to stay put, and she will run. She cannot sit. She will have to run, otherwise she will fall. When you are, for example, if you're doing Umrah, you're going around Tawaf, and if you're outer circle, you can go slowly. But if you're in the inner circle, either you'll be crushed or you have to move fast. So similarly, I put a pressure group around people, which makes them grow faster than ever because they have to run. They don't have a choice. And somehow people think it's me. It's absolutely not me. It's just that I just take it and throw it out there and it just starts to happen. Because I collected a crowd. So I think if Imran Khan does what I'm doing, Pakistan can fix in 2 months. Because he has people, he has crowd. All he has to do is take a problem. All the presidents, all the prime ministers, today they don't have to do anything. All they have to do is take a problem, identify 3 people around that problem, make them who wants to do something about it, who are saying, I want to solve the water problem of Pakistan. Okay, fine, fantastic. Here's your mobile number, here's their Twitter ID, boom. Throw it in front of 4 million people or 40 million people. It will start fixing itself. I don't have to do anything.
So
My
the
job,
interesting in that system is that you start getting forced. You start getting forced by other people, and you need to grow because you're
you
committing
don't have a
to things.
choice. You're stuck. It's
So
like,
you don't choose to do things. Yeah, you just have to do them because other people are waiting for them. From
so
you.
I hired her an assistant. Now she has an assistant sitting on her head all the time. She has to give him work.
He has a lot.
I got her a lot of Facebook friends who are on her head, looking at her, what's happening, what is she going to do today, what's she going to do today. If she does something good, they will come. You just said, oh, I'm ready for learning chakras. So all of a sudden she will be excited. Oh, I have a customer which is like a person who's ready to learn this, so I will do this. I don't have anything to do today. Okay, let me teach chakras today to Danish. This is how I live my life. I get up in the morning, I look at my WhatsApp, I have no plan. I look at my WhatsApp and I see what people are asking for, what are they saying. Okay, you want this? Fine, here you go. And then they start doing their whole thing on their own. I get out of the picture. I want to refine this process because I have, I don't know, 200 projects available, which can do fantastic if I have just 10 people who can, keep it alive. Because you have to keep an eye on those projects. You can't just run away. So you have to keep, like, if you have 25 classrooms right now, if there was someone like I'm asking him to do, he's not doing his job. If he can keep an eye on, did every class go on? You came into picture, he said, you will take care, you still didn't take care of it. So I have to come in again, push you, or create another pressure on you, hire another person, or put another person in place who keeps pushing you, and you will do it. So now what I'll do is I'll make a video, paste your photos, put your numbers over, and then, oh, you want to attend this class? Here's the guy. Don't call me. Here's the guy. Call him up. Eat his head alive. Don't leave him alone. Don't let him sleep. This is what happened for him for the first week. When we started the Allama group, his number was out there. He couldn't sleep. For 1 week, he was like, oh my God, what do I do with these people? They're calling me left and right. They want a free laptop. They want to learn. How do we do this?
But then you find also ways to become more efficient.
Yeah,
because you have to. You don't
have to
time.
become efficient. You don't have choice. All the politicians as of today do this. If you become the water minister tomorrow, you have no idea what a water minister does. You're a political figure. You go out and start asking questions. And you become the water minister. In a year's time, you know a little bit about the project. And this is what I'm doing, the same thing. Exactly the same thing, but on a different scale, a different way, using Facebook, which most people don't.
And also using the collective intelligence, like this throwing into the crowd is very, very interesting because
there is a lecture of mine.
You cannot see who can pick it up sometimes.
There is a lecture of mine. You can watch it an hour and a half using the collective mind. I've spoken about it multiple times. So this is not something I started doing yesterday, right? It's something I'm doing for 5-6 years and refining the process and refining the process and refining the process and trusting myself more. And it's because it's more intuitive, as she said. I'm not doing it from here. I'm just doing it. I had no idea why I was doing a 500 mutual friend program. I wanted to have a room where 500 people who know everyone in that room come and have dinner. And they have never met before, but they know every single person in that room through Facebook. Can you imagine the energy of that room? It will be explosion of humanity. If you put 500 people who have never met each other before, or maybe 5 of them they met, but they know everyone in that room because they're mutual friends with them. That room will be crazy. And I've been, no, that the energy, the things which will happen because of that meetup will be insane. Because they all trust each other, they already know each other, they're already collaborating with each other, they have already chatted with each other, they've already done Facebook with each other. It's all of a sudden, but now they're in the same room. Oh, come here, give me a hug. And everything starts to change. The trust level goes up. And I don't know why I want to do this. But it's something which I think it will be crazy. It will be worth spending time on. It's something interesting. Interesting. I don't know why Newton said, why apple fall on his head. Oh, everybody's had an apple before. But I just think it's going to be interesting because I've seen things happen. I have met people for 20 years, 25 years, 24 years who I've never met before. And I met through ICQ or through email. Suzanne came to my wedding. She has never met me before. She has never met a Pakistani before. Actually, she did. But she this is 1997, and she popped in and she stayed with us. And weird, but that's because I've done this so many times. I believe in it. I don't think internet is fake. People think friends on Facebook are fake. It's not fake. It's a human being over there. A lot of people will say, they will say, Facebook friends, they're not real friends.
They have different dynamics, but we have to explore these dynamics.
Exactly. They are very different dynamics. And I mean, I met Vice President of Microsoft. He hosted me. I met another Vice President of Microsoft. He hosted me in Seattle. Why? Oh, you're my friend for 4 years on Facebook. I thought, we should just meet up. That's the only reason. I would have never met him. I met so many weird people just like that. Amazing people. The guy who Steve Wozniak, another guy who was making the boxes before Steve Wozniak, a hacker, world's top hacker. He's a friend of mine. He just said, oh, Rehan, you seem interesting. Let's have coffee. Okay, let's meet, have coffee. Another guy who owned Washington Post. He's the owner of Washington Post. He messaged me, Rehan, let's have coffee. We know each other for so long. Let's meet up.
But also, this is interesting because
trust was there. They keep seeing you. They keep seeing you. They keep seeing you. And you keep posting. They're like, he seems like an okay guy. Let's meet him. He needs friends too.
But they will also pop up in a moment that is interesting. So they will pop up when something is resonating with what you do. So they will pop up as a help whenever you need them. Like, it's very interesting. They will just keep watching until something resonates with them. And that means probably you're working on something that has to do with what they do. And they just pop up. So
a few years ago, 5 years ago, maybe even more, my son fell down and he stopped breathing or something happened. It was kind of serious, but I wanted to I was in half an hour drive away and I just post on Facebook. And by the time I reached home, I got a call from Sri Lanka, I got a call from Malaysia, I got a call from Singapore. Rehan, is everything okay? Please take them and blah, blah. 400 comments 6 years ago, just because my son fell down and hit his head on the floor. So people are watching, people are listening, but they're not going to comment on everything. But you need those people first in your circle. If you have 5 Facebook friends, it's useless. You can't do this if you have 5 Facebook friends. You have to have 500 critical mass who are also interesting human beings, not just friends from your town. You need people who are diverse. It's very diverse, because if you're going to do something big or crazy or different, you don't need the people you already know. You need people you don't know. You're just doing it. You just keep on doing your stuff. People will pop up in your life and they will keep guiding you, helping you, even if it's just a small little guidance. And that small little guidance can change your life. I was already on a mission of 1 million businesses 10 years ago. And the first thing was I started saying, I couldn't say it from my mouth. I couldn't say, I want to help 1 million people start their business. I couldn't say it. It was too big of a goal, right? So I kept saying it, practice for 6 months. Everyone. First they were like, really?
What the fuck?
What are you talking about? But some of them were, oh, okay. And I thought they don't even not listen. Then I met a guy in France. I had lunch with him. He out of the blue. And he said, well, you want to do 1 million people. Why don't you just do 100 business that can be done 10,000 times? Makes sense. Okay, I'll do that. So if it makes sense, you will do it. All of us will do it. And of course, he had more experience than I did. He was, 20 years older than I am. But what you call creativity is not really creativity. It's just applying what you know from different things to another thing. That is what creativity is. So if you have seen a lot of different things in your life, you have exposure, which most people don't, then you apply something from plumbing industry, something from electric industry, something from X industry to Y. So let's move on. Otherwise, you're already late. I think it's 9:37. You should go.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think it was great.
Pleasure.
Inshallah, seeing you both here.
So, but this wouldn't be done without you. So we will try to finish it, and then there are some other people watching. Maybe they have questions, and
Yeah, let's
we
see.
can finish
You
it.
want to see a pattern movie, looks like that.
It's up to you. I want you to write a book on this, or not write, but let's hire someone to write a book on this subject.
Okay.
Hi guys.
So they will help you, and Aliki can help them
Let me
write a
unmute
book.
you.
Let's pick up a writer from the pool.
All right.
Give them this project of writing in English or Urdu. English, because Kaliki doesn't understand
Yeah.
Urdu.
You can unmute yourselves and ask questions if you want.
Let's finish the list, Aliki. Just go through your list quickly.
Okay, let's do the list first.
Thank you for. I enjoy hanging out with you.
So,
Thank you for explaining also. It was interesting to see the similarities and differences.
yeah, there are many surprises.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so the features that I feel that they are the stronger, good night, is intuition. So acting upon what you've been told, not from culture, but from the voice within, let's say. Drive, so you're pushing through something.
I have absolutely no drive. I have extreme boredom.
Yeah, but why do you do things? That was a question
Boredom.
of mine.
The reason I started doing my first business, I was bored to death.
Okay, so boredom.
It's the boredom which pushes me to not be bored and do something with it.
Yeah, I was curious about that because when I was writing it, I was like, this should be something
I
else
am
there.
extremely bored.
Yeah, I can see that. Persistence. So that's what we're saying, that if you believe in tools, you keep saying about tools until
I'm
you find
bored,
tools.
so I just do things because I'm just too much bored. So I do. It seems like persistence, but it's just boredom.
Influence. That
To be honest,
Hmm.
if I'm being honest, I see it right now as boredom. You see it as drive. It's channeling that boredom into something more creative
Yeah.
than
Sitting around.
sitting around. Most people use their boredom to do nothing because they don't have the courage to do something. And I just use my boredom to, let's try this. I'm curious.
Yeah.
And at the same time, somehow I find myself that I can try, even though my father was when I was very young, I was hiding from everything from him. And so I didn't have the kind of liberty, but I was still doing things, and I don't know. So we need to crack this code, whatever it is.
So I think that influence also has to do something. So meaning, if you say something nobody listens, you will stop saying it very soon.
Me? No.
No, in general.
Oh.
But if somebody listens, it's I don't know. I think it's more possible that you will just keep saying it.
I think the reason, if you think I have influence, is because I have displayed publicly a lot of things. That creates influence. If you do things,
Not only.
I think so. That's why I am influential, because not what I say is substantial, because I am the one-eyed king of in the blind's land.
Yeah, but influence has to do with the character also.
Well, I'm doing it. I'm not asking for money. I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
I keep doing it. I don't ask for money. I just keep giving. And that creates the influence, right? It is allowing more people to follow rather than less. But anybody who will do anything publicly for a lot of time will end up having influence. That's why I force people to do it publicly. Very simple.
Yeah, I was trying to explain them. I was telling them also about the public processes. What we said, like But you said it's more tools than processes.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
processes are tools to me. I
okay.
said technology, not tools.
Mhm.
I like technology. I
No,
like
you
tools,
like
not
tools, not
technology.
technology.
But processes are something which are replicable, which people can copy, which people, because everyone has been through school, so they followed the process. Class one, what is the first question a person is asked? What is your name? Question two,
Where are you from?
no, not if you're local. If you meet a
If you're
child, what class, what school do you go to? What class are you in? So this is the process. So
Yeah.
similarly, everybody is used to examination and processes. So I believe most people are trained to follow processes. Therefore, I give them processes. Okay, you're good at following processes. Here you go. Step one, step two, step three. So therefore, most of my books or booklets or workbooks are about processes. Do this, do this, and I find they find it easy. Okay,
But it's
I will do
interesting what you
this.
say, because practically what we ask is to identify the process that have somebody has passed from. Even where you're from, kind of, you think that you know the kind of cultural process. Are you married? The kind of cultural process again. So that's interesting.
So
You can-
everything is processed to me. If you want to scale things, you want to help a billion people, million people, you have to put them through a process. You cannot interview a one-on-one. You cannot educate one-on-one. But you can give them a process to follow, and they will follow through. Most teachers have not given us the process.
Yeah, they just
That
tell us to
they
learn
just-
by learning, but like by heart.
which
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
all.
like. I think if we give them process, millions and billions can become enlightened if we give them a process.
I mean, learning should be a process also, not just go and learn this book. You have to learn how to learn. It's a process also.
Correct.
It's coding.
So that's what I'm giving people to
Yeah.
process. Like, for example, if I made a small little course of virtual assistant, for example, I made it into a process. It was in my head. I just made, one, two, three. Now we'll have a book around it. So step one, step two, step three. All of a sudden, it's a process.
But for that helps a lot. So I was realizing the other day that you were explaining my project better than I could explain it. Even though I had it in my brain, for some reason you were able to channel it and actually explain it much better.
Because you have not explained things in your life enough times.
Okay.
I have explained things enough time to. I follow this process called keep it stupidly simple. KISS. Keep it stupidly simple. If you keep everything stupidly simple, anybody can understand, then it's fine. Every time you try to explain, you think the person doesn't know anything and he's 9 years old. It doesn't matter. Take 1 minute extra, but you explain it to them as if you're 9 years old. Even if you're talking to a president of the country, you explain it as if he doesn't know. It's fine if you are embarrassed. But over the years, I've learned it's better to take 1 more minute and explain exactly, very simply, with more terminology, because then you make sure that they know that you know what you're talking about. So whereas what you did was you tried to explain everything in 2 minutes, assuming that they know what you're doing. They don't know anything about you. Most people in this room who we are watching right now, they don't have no clue who you are, what you do. They just show up. Oh, it's exciting. Let's do that. They have no clue. But if you explain it, it's better.
And then
What does it mean, trust?
trust is mostly like that you just trusting like mostly the process. So that's what you say. You just throw it away and you just wait for it to emerge or not. And if it doesn't, you drop it. So it's like trusting the process mostly. Like it's like whatever works, whatever doesn't work, kind of, without getting too frustrated or too attached to something.
I thought you wrote that I trust people.
You support people. I don't know if you trust people. Is it the same? It's not the same. It's not really the
I
same.
think you agree. I agree with you.
Support for crazy enough to not care of like showing
people
off
think.
or failure or anything, right? Creative, but yeah, I think that's what we analyzed before. It's not really creative. It's mostly that you want to simplify things, so you find creative ways to reverse the curious. I think you are curious. Stubborn. Yeah, you'll just keep knocking a door if you believe that this door is important. You just keep doing it. And understand the power of connections. I think you talked about that.
I think that is my superpower.
Yeah, that's true. Like you understand, like social capital practically, how it works. It's the power of it. It's behind the obvious. So you can see qualities in people that I cannot see. For example, you can see a person before it becomes way before it reveals.
Okay, how do we teach this? I've been trying to teach you.
What you do is that you actually allow the person to come up, kind of. You give them tasks so they can reveal themselves. So you don't judge who to like. You don't say, okay, you are very interesting.
No, how do you teach people to see other people, what is inside them? So, for example, if you just meet him and talk to him for 1 minute, can you see behind his obvious?
A bit.
A bit. So, how do you get good at it?
You just talk with more people.
Exactly. So, by doing interviews, by making
Yeah.
more connections, you are actually learning this process also. That because you're trying to make 500 new friends who don't want to be your friends, you will be forced to get rejected, and then you will see more and more behind the obvious. How do I get them? How do I make them?
What is what triggers them, right? And then humanity driven. I don't know. I'm not very sure about that, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
What does
I know
that
that you
mean?
want to, for example, to eliminate poverty. I just don't know why. I still don't know why. Do you know why?
Because in the end they will know that it wasn't really important.
I was sure about that. That's why I'm like, but I had to write it somehow. Okay. There we go. We go to the emotional. I think you're very emotional. And that also, that kind of activates that though. Like when somebody triggers you, if you feel that is interesting, you kind of listen more and you just go and do it somehow. So somehow it helps.
How do you teach people to be more emotional?
Everybody's emotional. They just have to allow it to reveal, to not block it.
How do you teach that?
How do you teach allowance? That's a very interesting subject. I mean, in everything, you have to try a little bit in a tiny micro scale, and see it didn't kill you. Like it was good. It helped you, and then try it a little bit bigger, and then just start trusting it slowly.
But people
somehow.
are not emotional because they have failed before,
I know, or they not necessarily.
or they have heard that it's a
Exactly.
failure.
That's the thing. And most of the time,
And what is it called then?
what is it called?
Fear,
Because that's phobia, right? But
false emotions appearing real. So emotional persons are emotional, but they are scared of the outcome and embarrassed, and then they stop themselves from expressing their emotions because they're scared that if they express it, they will be embarrassed.
But the thing is, like, that's because we have connected emotions with something negative somehow. It's like something that you should be hiding. The thing with emotions is that you can detach it from the outcome. So you can become emotional you can cry without being sad, for example, or you can be sad. You can detach it somehow.
But you can, but that's not how it works. That's the thing. Culture dictates what you do.
But as always, you have to start trusting it, like slowly.
Next.
Using space-time dynamics.
What is that?
Because of that happens. So you understand that if an idea comes and these people are in the room, you will share it with these people. So it means that the setting is the correct one. So you kind of use, I don't think you know that you're doing that, by the way.
I don't.
So you send me people to connect. Why do you send them when you send them? Because just because.
And logic, both.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. It's like you understand that for this person to come into my mind right now, it has something to do with what I'm doing. So it's like both connection. Centralized. You're a little bit like you want to have the word. You're not very decentralized, even if you're trying to get out of your processes. It's true.
I don't know what you mean. Explain.
Pyramid system. You still like to be the leader. You like to empower people, so they will come from here to here, but they will not go from here to here. That's kind of normal. Every leader has been like that a little bit. We are trying to find new systems. We don't have them yet. So it's kind of normal that it's happening. Most of the, oh yeah, again, the leader, yeah, it goes there. So the same.
Okay. Did you write something, Iqbal? But you wrote meditation.
Meditation and some
That you
few-
like meditation or that you want meditation?
Compared to other people, I do more meditation.
Yeah, that you do. Oh, okay. So the only thing that you know about him is that he meditates? Wow.
but you and nice also write this thing.
He doesn't allow his intuition to come forward.
Why not? What's the
Scared.
first thing that comes into your mind about him? First, you probably don't need to think, you just come. First thing that you feel about him. It's okay, he's not gonna be mad.
Influence and creative and marketer and pressure builders.
What was that?
Pressure and
What was it? I didn't
pressure
understand.
builder is something he create the pressures
Ah,
of any task related to
Okay.
him. And he knows the how to get done by how to get done tasks from others.
I don't think he knows. He will expect the others to know by somehow.
He
He gives them
do-
directions, that's all. Yeah.
and also technologist. He want to know each technology come in the markets. He first surprise. He wish we do this, and he want to see around here his like his mandate. People know his mind, what is going on, and what's his wish to complete tasks and everything. So he want to see more people and more people around him, and they make on self also. Like he want to he empower each every person. He knows he want to teach him a Facebook Live, YouTube. So these are things.
Why do you like to empower people?
So they're stopping in my head.
What?
So they don't have to come to me.
I was pretty sure about it. So guys, if you want to ask any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask questions if you want. Rehan is here, he can tell us, and also you can ask me if you want.
Assalamu alaikum.
Any
Rehan bhai,
questions,
assalamu alaikum.
any ideas and insights? That's a very good analysis for you to start seeing how you can also analyze yourself and start understanding your strong parts and your weaknesses. They're very interesting for business. You can use them a lot. And it's a very good tool in general. How many of these would you put in your list if you were doing your list? How many, if you were doing your list about your superpowers, how many would you put from this? How many are resonating?
No, I explained everything already, and I mean, if it wasn't me, I would have asked to delete. I wrote what I wrote, like, what do you want to copy is 1, 2, technology, fearless. I don't have fear for technology. I don't have fear for failure.
How did
I
you
don't
overcome
have-
the fear of failure?
By failing many times.
Okay.
I don't have camera fear. I used to have, and now I don't. I want to end poverty because it's a good goal. I want to allow people to do what they love, because that will allow number 4 to happen. And
Okay. Any questions?
nobody has questions. I can go.
They're so
Yeah,
quiet
Ali has
today.
no questions.
Any questions, guys?
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah.
Wait.
What about Rehan's intuitive solution for the business in case of that?
Sorry, can you repeat because we were not hearing the first part when you asked?
Yeah. Intuitive skills for business. How can we utilize our intuitive skills for business? What would
What's your question?
Rehan is busy right now.
So, which tools do you feel that there are intuitive tools? With intuition is mostly is a tool itself, right? It's voice, it's a direction.
yeah.
Which tool?
How can we manage into the two processes for this? Yeah.
Again, come again, please. With the question.
Yeah, how can we make our intuitive skills or processes to business to upward forecast the future, like a business is in business for intuitive or something prediction in the business.
Or in other words, how we can take instinctive decisions.
Prediction. Yeah, this is.
It's if it's intuition, then how can you forecast? It's all intuition. It's what you feel, not what you think. You can't predict. You just make a wild guess. You like somebody. You like somebody. You don't know why you like somebody. Very simple. That's intuition. That's intuition. You just like somebody. You can't explain why you like somebody. You just like somebody. It is explainable. At the same time, you don't even know if your body is lying to you or if your mind is lying to you. You just want to do things because you like it, you enjoy it. That's intuition. Your body is telling you things. You should listen. So if you want to, if you don't want to listen, it's fine. If you want to listen, it's fine. Everything is fine.
I think the interesting thing is like that intuition comes you cannot expect that you will have all your life in front of you controlled and scheduled and have intuition and working for you. It doesn't work because, I mean, it will work, but it will get all your schedule upside down because intuition doesn't know what's going to happen in 2 months. It just knows what you need right now, where you have to go right now. So the more intuitive people start having less schedules. So if you know people that don't have a schedule at all, like Rehan, usually they're highly intuitive because they know that if they put a schedule, they will block that. Actually, that's feature. Other question?
Yes, my question that how Mr. Han get the idea based on demand, based on necessity, or just he want to link up the people.
How do you get ideas?
Which idea are you talking about?
Any idea you are giving us the ideas, business ideas or working ideas, process whatsoever. From where you get? It's just coming from in your mind only. Are you seeing the current situation surrounding you, or things demands?
So, are you comfortable with English? Would you like me to answer in Urdu?
No, I'm okay with English.
It's
good. It's good in English.
So, I don't get ideas. I get questions by people. So, for example, Ali will message me, Rehan, can you help me with this? And I will think, how can I help him? Or basically, I would think, how can I not help him but still help him? And who in my network can help him? And if I know that Ali trusts me, or if Ali says, I am your student, or if I know that he has 500 mutual friends, then I know that he will not come and slap me if I do something to him. So, staying protective, I will go out and take his question and post it on my wall and tag him, and then 10 minutes later, his idea will be solved, and then I will read the comments. And whatever I think is interesting, I will pick it up and I will take it forward one step, and then I will put it again on the wall, and then the collective intelligence comes back again, and then I will do something with it, and it's kind of like cooking. I will go in the kitchen and see what's there, and I will start cooking what's available. Similarly, I can only
For example, I have a guy who came up to me. He said, "I want to do a job," and I know the guy from he was working with somebody who I like. So I thought, okay, if he has worked with this guy, this one factory wala, if he has worked for Shahid Joya for 1 year, he must know some parts of Shahid Joya. So let's hire him, and I gave him as an assistant to my son. And he couldn't work with him for 2 months, and he had anxiety. He was messaging me, many things were happening, and then Corona thing happened. So before that, we made this small factory institute. So he was just available. So I wanted to do this for many years. My end goal being the same, empower teams. So people who want to learn factory, we said, okay, why don't you make a proposal on how we will start small factory food? People who come in and start a small factory. The last week I gave him, he was doing sitting home nothing, and I said, okay, why don't you teach on StreamYard? And then I asked him, can you teach? And he said, okay, what factory can we start? And I asked, yes, what factory can we start? Everything is closed, you can't go anywhere. So he said, tomato is available and tomato is cheap. And can we teach people how to make ketchup and trade ketchup? Sure, good idea. But by the way, why don't you search on YouTube that you find something else also? So he found how to make tomato powder, which I had no idea that it existed. So now he was teaching how to make tomato powder. And if you make tomato powder, you can store it for 2 years. It won't go bad. But you can't store tomatoes for 2 years. So it's the idea came from everywhere. It's just it doesn't happen. Ideas are everywhere around you. You just have to take one step and then another step, and then somebody will come and tell you, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And that is what is called pivoting. When Skype was started, it was started as a Wi-Fi company. It was not started as a phone service. And then they pivoted it to change the name and made it into a phone service. So the thing is, most people don't start, and they just think too much. If you start doing something, you will know what to do. Slowly, it will come to you. But if you just keep on thinking, oh, one fine day I will do this, you will keep on thinking, nothing will actually happen.
Anybody else?
So we have my wife here, and this is the board. We're trying to copy my features.
You have to write his feature.
And do you see anything on the board which is extra, or do you think anything which is less? And KISS means under 6 means keep it stupidly simple. Not keeping everyone. So any other questions till she is pondering on the board?
Any other questions?
Arslan, I don't see you.
He's waiting on the other side. Arslan? Ooh.
Nobody has questions during the class.
So guys, tomorrow we have to make something similar for you. You can ask your friends, your wives, your mothers, or anybody that can see you a little bit more objectively, and to start understanding what are your points and what are your limitations. You can also put things that are limiting you there. We can talk about them tomorrow. And remember, like today you had to go out and talk to a client. It was exactly what Rehan was describing. Is to start getting feedback, start refining the processes and understanding what needs to be done. So I'll see you all tomorrow.
Excuse me, can you write your assignment because your voice is not clear? So kindly write here, please.
I have to do something. I will write it to you in the WhatsApp group also. But it's
okay, please
make a list with your strengths. So something that is very obvious for you. So I don't know. You have a lot of persistence, or you are curious.
Then also share the picture of board also.
Okay, I'll share you the picture. You do something similar for you, and you can also add the things that are limiting you. So maybe fearful, for example, or not very brave, or I don't know what else could be. Anything that can be also limiting you. So not only the good things, but also the bad things. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.